Hello everyone. Today we woke up to some relatively awesome news. We got a big run. We got new King Salmon. I'm very hyped for that. Old gear. And one kit today dropped instead of two. Because I guess they count the scopes for a separate post. Which is this new charger with a gear brand collaboration. Which is Wall and Trystrike. And this thing is going to be terrifying and possibly break the entire game. So let's talk about it. So, not that I have not seen this coming, I have talked about this kit being a possibility, but let's go over what exactly makes this kit so strong. So, first off, regular charger is one of the best main weapons in the game. Obviously, chargers favor the map design very heavily, but for regular charger, it's also a bit faster and more aggressive, and it still has pretty good DPS, so even dealing with object specials, it's pretty alright at. So this already a really good start for a main gun. It's, you know, kind of obvious that this is really good. The kit is what really amplifies this, mainly Wall. Wall is the main terrifying thing to put on a charger, and to explain why, right? What Wall does is it gives it a way to fight things it normally shouldn't. If a splash runs at you, because it can't break the wall fast, and because it's only going to be walking in one direction, you'll be able to charge and fight it. And good charger players, especially since Splatoon 2 Firefit happened, have gotten very used to being able to fight with this wall. It also means if other backlines are even remotely a threat, you have an option for them. Wall to deal with the heavy, to deal with the Hydra, to deal with the Annihilator, and be able to get shots off, you'll definitely see those. And Wall can even be used to deal with some special weapons. Being zip casted, throw a wall and you can go in and out of it. Yes, the zip can go through the wall, but the main weapon will have to break it and they don't have a bomb. Kraken, block off a Kraken. You can even temporarily block off a Reef Slider. You can even, for a tiny bit, block off a Crab. It's pretty scary. So Wall gives it a way to deal with up-close options and to deal with specials. And then on top of that, because this gets more scary, is Trystrike. Now, Trystrike is already pretty good, but Trystrike is way better for a long-range weapon. If you get something like the 10 attack over here, and you're fighting someone and you have Trystrike, you know, you have to back off, you have to be careful not to be too vulnerable, and throw the strikes at them. If you want to fight with them, you have to throw the strikes up. And, you know, it's definitely still good on T-Tech, don't get me wrong. It's a bit difficult, but if you're a charger in the back line, you know, you're just shooting back here. The second your ink tank's about to run low and maybe the enemy team popped a Crab, here we go, throw some strikes for you guys and then keep shooting. You don't have to worry about running in with your strikes because you're already in position to try to shoot people. You already have the range to where, especially if you're more aggressively positioned with like a wall up, the wall will protect you, you'll throw your strikes and you'll immediately keep fighting and there'll be no downtime between. And Trystrikes are just another thing to deal with many of the specials in the game. HP specials to deal with the charger? Congratulations, you're gonna get Trystriked. One Trystrike will break whatever bubble you place, whatever booyah you're gonna throw at me, and it'll even be able to deal with Crab a little bit. Which, normally, Trystrike against Crab isn't enough to break it on its own. But because Charger is faster and could do good damage to Crab, even a little bit of hits from Trystrike can combo with the Charger. Which means, yes, this thing can actually deal with Crab. This weapon with Object Shredder can actually deal with Crab. This might actually be a weapon. I'm just kidding. It's going to be 2 splash plus this thing still. Assuming it's not nerfed. But it is still going to be very good. In my opinion, if Crab is still in the meta, then Firefit will be a top 5 weapon. Or whatever they call it. It'll be a top 5 weapon. But if Crab is nerfed, and not much else changes, if it's just, well, Crab is toned back fairly, oh boy. Top 1 could be possible. Top 1 weapon in the game could very much be possible. I think the counterplay to this kind of weapon is going to be very difficult to develop. And with the lack of kits in the game, there's going to be very limited options. Like, other backlines are kind of screwed if they don't have the tools to deal with it. Like, Heavy is screwed if it fights this thing. What is it going to do with its current kit? The main weapon cannot reach it. The sub-weapon does nothing. The special weapon does not reach. the wall on the Charger can stall out this thing, and if Charger for whatever reason can't keep it out at a distance, it can also just throw strikes at you. Ballpoint, same problem. Except that as a special that instead of doing nothing will actually make it even worse. Explo can't peek this thing, and now it can't even fight it in chances where it can because of the wall, because it won't be able to damage wall. But at least it has rain. This is what other backlines are going to need. You better have an option on your kit or main weapon to deal with the Charger. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult to pick other backlines into this. Like, Eater might be fine, because it has the range advantage. The new Jet Squelcher, if it doesn't have a displacement special, oh boy, it might not, it might be doomed. If it doesn't have a way to move Charger, yeah, I don't know. Now, none of this is to say, like, it's a horrible thing for the game or anything. It's a very scary thing because it's very strong, but I'm not opposed to it. Charger is gonna be the best weapon in the patch at one point or another. Like, it's just already up there right now. E-Liter's already top 10 right now, even with crabs, and this thing's only bad because it has vacuum. So, you know, it's gonna get there at one point or another, and I'm unsure. We'll have to see what the options they want to do to deal with Charger are. I am hoping, for the sake of everyone, including Charger players, the answer is not this special. I am hoping that we do not resort to Missile. Whale would be more fair, but Whale doesn't even seem to do too much to Charger, honestly, because they just take advantage of the fact that it tracks it and strafes slowly, but we'll have to see what comes up with an option to it. But on the positive hand, if they do want to buff specials like Inkjet to deal with it, you know, specials that Charger can fight, I think it could lead to very positive changes. Because buffing the right kind of specials in the game is very important for its balance, especially on these maps. And so if a weapon like this new Charger can not only be a good answer to crabs, not only be really good, but also kind of force the devs into making more positive game balance changes, then this might not only be a scary weapon for the game, but it might also be something that helps push it in the right direction. And, you know, that sounds pretty nice. So yeah, outside of Rainmaker, this thing's gonna be insanely strong. Gonna be very good at what it does. And, I don't know, we'll have to see, really. Again, I predicted this kit. I kind of still want this kit because it looks very fun. I think at the end of the day, the balance of how we deal with Chargers on these maps and buffing counterplay options is something that has to be done anyway. But for the time being, where those options don't really exist or at least have not been developed as much, it's going to be a little scary. Let me know what you guys think of the Charger, and I'll see you guys later.